Welcome back, everyone. Following a gut-wrenching defeat to Indiana, the Lakers have some major problems they need to figure out, as they once again became their own worst enemy. Now, give credit to Indiana, they fought hard and did not give up after going down 17, but in my opinion, it was more about the Lakers letting them back in the game. Going up by nearly 20 points in the fourth quarter is great, but when there are over 9 minutes remaining, that pretty much means nothing in the NBA. In order to maintain a lead like that with that much time left, you need to play smart, and the Lakers did anything but that during the fourth quarter. Rather, they completely fell apart on offense, had horrible communication on defense, lacked effort while grabbing rebounds, and overall made mistake after mistake. But how did they get to that point? And what can they do to correct these problems moving forward? We will talk about exactly that in today's video. And if you enjoy the video, don't forget to drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and hit that notification bell to never miss out when I upload a new video. Without further ado though, let's dive right into it. And if we are trying to pinpoint when their problems began, it literally happened the moment after they went up 17. For whatever reason, they got way too comfortable at that point. Even with nearly 10 minutes left to play, their body language gave off the vibe that they had pretty much already won. However, they were quickly brought back to reality, because not even 2 minutes later, that 17-point lead had already been dropped down to 10, and according to LeBron after the game, everything that went wrong did go wrong.
LeBron, Darvin said he wanted to take some of the blame for not having things be more organized in the fourth with the 17-point lead. You know, you've been in the league a long time, but where did you see that start to go the wrong way, and why did that happen?
I just got to finish the game. You know, everything has to go wrong in order for you to lose a game like that, and everything went wrong. And you tip your hat off to Indiana. They kept fighting, they kept pushing.
Again, give credit to Indiana for battling back, but the real problem was how the Lakers played during the fourth quarter. Following the Pacers calling a timeout at the 9-minute and 48-second mark, everything went downhill for them, and it began with how different they started playing on offense. Up until that point, their ball movement had been very good, and many of their role players were involved in the offense, but after that timeout, they became completely stagnant. They then began running their offense almost entirely through LeBron. It really felt like they were trying to run down the clock with over 9 minutes left to play, which completely killed the flow of their offense. Between the 8-minute and 48-second mark to the 5-minute mark alone, they ran an isolation play through LeBron 4 different times, and that resulted in 1 turnover, 3 missed shots, and 4 empty possessions. Now, I'm not sure if that was by design, and I really hope it wasn't, but that simply cannot happen when they're losing momentum, and yet, that was what they did. After taking a timeout around the 5-minute mark, they brought Westbrook back into the game, and that ended up contributing to their downward spiral. They were hoping for him to create open shots like he was earlier, but instead, he ended up causing turnovers. During their first 3 possessions following that timeout, one of them was a missed 3-point shot by LeBron, but then the following 2 were turnovers by Westbrook. And that led to Indiana cutting their lead down even further. By the 3-minute and 25-second mark, the Lakers' lead was down to only 6. They did not learn from any of that either. They continued to play poorly on offense, but then really did themselves in by lacking communication on defense. They gave up 2 completely wide open 3-point shots within 50 seconds due to lack of communication, one by Miles Turner at the 2-minute and 58-second mark, and then another by Andrew Nembhard at the 2-minute and 11-second mark. Although, the really embarrassing part about that is neither of them were even picked up at the 3-point line. Turner was outright forgotten about, and then Schroeder and Westbrook had obvious miscommunication with Nembhard. And all of that led to their eventual collapse. Nothing got better for them after that point, and they have no one to blame other than themselves. To add insult to injury though, they once again failed to get Anthony Davis the ball during the fourth quarter. Believe it or not, he had a grand total of 2 shot attempts in the fourth quarter, which LeBron and Darvin Ham were questioned about after the game.
AD, 2 shots in this fourth quarter. I think you said before that you find some responsibility as a team leader to get him involved, make sure he's involved at the end of the game. How much of that falls on the teammates to make sure AD is able to get some looks?
It's all our responsibility. You know, it's definitely all our responsibility. And, you know, the way he's been playing, you know, you always try to figure out a way how to get him the ball. I think tonight just, I don't know, I have to watch the fourth quarter and see, you know, why and what was the reasons him not getting the ball.
Now, I am aware that the Pacers were trying to prevent him from getting the ball, which they obviously did a good job at, but the Lakers did not do anything to counteract that. When they continued to run isolation plays and let LeBron or Westbrook hold the ball for over 10 seconds alone, it's really not that hard to prevent Anthony Davis from getting the ball. I mean, you'd think they would have learned their lesson with that, but they quite obviously have not. And it's not only AD either, they completely went away from incorporating their role players into their offense too. I get that they want LeBron, Westbrook, and Anthony Davis to have the ball during the fourth quarter, but completely ignoring everyone else is not the right way to do it. Their entire offense became stagnant, and it took guys like Troy Brown, Austin Reeves, and Dennis Schroeder out of the flow of their offense. During the fourth quarter, they rarely, if ever, touched the ball, did not move much due to the repeated isolation plays, and pretty much were used as decoys, which is the complete opposite of what Indiana did with their offense. If you instead look at the game from their point of view, their ball movement and diversity of their offense was great. They did not play hero ball, nor did they run repeated isolation plays either. And that's the part that should really be frustrating for the Lakers. They could live with one player getting hot and somehow finding a way to beat them, but they let multiple players beat them. One way for them to have counteracted that would have been better utilization of their timeouts, as it almost felt like they wanted the Pacers to get back in the game. If we take a look back to when they were up 17, they had 3 timeouts remaining, but even after blowing that lead and eventually getting beat, they still had 2 timeouts left to use. I mean, I get keeping one of them for a final play, but when you are losing momentum, and losing it fast like they were, you need to call timeout and figure something out. It took them giving up 10 straight points to call one timeout, and then they failed to call another one even after giving up the entirety of their lead. The only timeout they used during the fourth quarter was one with 7.5 minutes left to play. Following that, they did not use a single timeout for the remainder of the game. No matter what way you want to look at this, they completely fell apart. You can blame some of it on Darvin Ham, on LeBron, and on Westbrook too, but this one was a total team collapse. And if they hope to get better moving forward, it needs to be the low point for them. They've been trending upwards lately, and they need to learn from this to get back on track. They cannot allow that to become the norm for them again. Their offense cannot become that stagnant. They need better communication on defense, and Darvin Ham needs to do a better job at managing the game. Along with all of that, if they cannot find a way to make their trio of LeBron, AD, and Westbrook work during the fourth quarter, then one of them needs to be on the bench. I mean, that game should have never been that close to begin with, but they clearly struggle with those 3 on the court, and that is something they need to figure out during the fourth quarter. Their entire offense in general needs to be better organized during that time too. They do not finish well when running their offense through LeBron, and at this point, I would hope they realize that too. To wrap everything up here though, the Lakers need to treat this game as a learning experience. They can learn a lot by watching their utter collapse on offense, their lack of communication on defense, and poor execution overall, but they can only do that if everyone takes accountability. With all of that being said though, what do you guys think? What was your main takeaway from their gut-wrenching defeat to the Indiana Pacers? Let me know your thoughts by commenting down below and we can talk about it there. That will do it for this video though. Big thank you to those of you who took the time to watch until the end of this video, and until the end of all of my videos in general. I really hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, be sure to drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and turn on notifications to get notified right away when I drop a new video. But as always, thank you for watching and have a great day.